How to create a marketing angle for your offer. This is probably the most important video I've ever made, because the truth is that even if you have the best product or offer in the world, people will not buy it. They need to be familiar with. If you look at Apple or even ChatGPT, we call them great now, but when they first came through, people said it will not work. This is not possible. It can't be a good product. No one will use it. And I have even proof. You can see these are the latest articles people are still using. 9 Apple products that miserably failed. MacBook Butterfly. Like, you can see all these news articles talking about, and when Apple came up, when Steve Jobs was actually making it, people said he's a perfectionist, he's a narcissist. People said so much bad things about the person who was making it, and in general about the offer, and even ChatGPT, the curse of ChatGPT, users of ChatGPT, the stupidity of AI, and all the limitation of ChatGPT. All these articles are made, even though these products are life-changing, even though we use them all the time. Look at Amazon. Airbnb was you have a mattress in someone else's house. It was a weird idea. People said it was so weird. Look, Amazon was like, how will we order? People are dogmatic. And you need to create an offer angle, because if the public doesn't accept it, not the product like a massive brand like ChatGPT or Apple, how would they accept you if they're not willing to accept the biggest names in the industry? These are not even just products. These are massive brands which have created a name for themselves. So how do you, as someone who's running a single offer, who's running a B2C offer or even a B2B offer, stand out in the market against these giants who are getting, ridiculed by the public? I have the exact way of doing it, and this video I'm going to break down. I'm going to give all my secrets, because how I sell it, because I'm in the AI niche plus consulting niche, which is probably the most hardest to sell with because of how much data and how much competition people have in that industry. So let me break it down for you guys. Steve Jobs had the charisma, right? And the innovation and using daily life examples. Sam Altman had the beef with Elon, and being the first in the market with ChatGPT was just like a massive. It was the first thing that was just coming up. No, there was no DeepSeek, Claude, all that stuff. But they touched the human points. Selling the offer isn't hard as selling tech. That's the point that I want to make. You guys have much easier. If you're in SaaS, that's why SaaS is so much harder. Selling an app, selling like something like Califit, like that guy did, Cluely. If you look at Cluely, it's a useless kind of app. Nobody wants to buy it. If you know about Cluely, it's a big B2C SaaS company. What they're all doing is they're just marketing, making funny ads, using furries, using all that sorts of angles. Even though it doesn't, like, the people are behind it because of it's cool. That's the thing. That's how brands work. Because what happens is that the selling offer is easier if you can make it digestible for your audience. When you sell something, you need to understand that people, and if you have something new in the market, people think, oh, I'm going to come up with this latest idea or this latest thing. The more latest it is, the more harder it is to sell. That's the issue. That's why people say copy each other, copy like an artist, all that stuff, because it's easier. The market is understood about that concept. When Zoom was there, when calls were happening, it was like such a foreign offer. Like, people are so used to Zoom calls now. Everybody knows what a sales call is. Why is that? Because in COVID, they got digestible by hopping on meetings, going on school, all that stuff. Now, I'm going to give 2 massive examples of in our space. First is, of course, is Iman. Iman is known as the SMMA guy, or like the first rich kid online bunny type of guy. He's been doing it till like 2000s, I think like 13, 14. Like, he's an OG, right? He's been doing it for a decade almost. And if you have the Alex Hermosi, who's the value guy, the OG business guy, the chill guy, both of these guys, what they're doing actually in reality is that Alex Hermosi is selling a book, and Iman Ghazi is selling his high-ticket program. He used to sell his agency accelerator, but now he's selling AFL, which is also known as Quantum now. But the thing is that books and program are not new, but the angle that they have created, which leads us to creating an angle. And the reason why you want to create an angle in the first place is so that people get familiarized with who you are and what you're doing. Now, this is what I like to call the Slop advertising. This is something which I've coined myself. And these are the basic fundamental points of it, and you can use this step by step. So this means that you sell the market the way they're already getting sold, to using other people's angles. Like Sam did with Elon. He used Elon. People know that all the time. Steve Jobs used the pockets on the Levi's jeans, but the mini AirPods. He made it such smooth, by the way. He was like, do you know what these pockets are made of? They're made for the iPod mini. This is the power of Steve Jobs. He used to connect the local or the daily thing that we used to do with the product that he was making, because it was groundbreaking. When iPhone came out, nobody had that, right? And all these things, what do you do is that you attract your offer to something that the public knows, but with a twist. Now, I sell AI, and when people think of AI, they think it is cheap. No work is there. It's easy to do, right? When people think of AI, they think of ChatGPT. That's why it's so hard. That's why I don't really recommend you selling like just an AI offer or AI automation agency. It works if you're selling like B2B businesses, but if you're selling more so on the side of coaches, info guys, on that spectrum, it's hard. The reason being that they don't trust it. They think it's just ChatGPT. They can do it themselves. So how do I kind of overcome it? Because first of all, my actual process takes 10 days of work to actually do. Now, I set up with a consultation model. And why do I use that and not just all my like the backend system that I use, right? It's giving my personality touch, my experience from working with a 7 and 8 figure as a sales operation manager, being the part of multi-millionaire businesses. This is what creates my angle, right? The reason why, and this is the main reason why the system works. It's a sales operational system. I won't go deep into. I've made other videos as well, breaking down. You can check out the video I made on my funnels that I use, which has like a 75% booking rate. Absolutely insane. But the entire thing that I want to make is that I use my angle and my experience of being a sales operational manager with the AI that I'm using. And that's how I even made it in the first place, because the system does not work without me. I prompt the system, I do everything in it, and that's purposely done so that people cannot copy it. You can have a dev, you can have someone who can make the structure of the system, you can say, but they cannot prompt it because they don't have the 2 years of experience that I have, right? So you create this angle like I just did with Slop advertising. I literally just made this term while making this video to call your attention. Now, if you're watching this video right now, you will be like, okay, Slop advertising, what is that? I created and I sparked your curiosity. You already know what advertising is. You already know you need to do these things, but I made my own mechanism and then I sold it to you. Like I became Steve Jobs here and took something which you already know, but attached it in my way with a twist, right? And the thing is, like, when I do these types of services, right, I have all these results over here, That's how I use them, 49 calls booked in 3 days, cash collected, boom, boom, boom. This is just some of the things that I do. And this enables me, the trust that I build from my actual revenue. This is why I need to show results. It doesn't work with me. If I don't show results, if I don't show, hey guys, I'm actually doing something, people don't trust the system because they don't trust AI. That's why I need to come in. And the trust enables me to get eyeballs, not from everybody, but the industry leaders. Why? Because my messaging is dialed in. When I make these videos, when I'm making these offer angles, it's for people like you or industry leaders who are going to watch this video and be like, you know what, this guy's making sense. So the formula is for the essay is that you use an existing model. This you can just literally take a screenshot, copy paste it, whatever you want to do. I won't run my pen on it, right? You can see this entire thing. You take the existing model plus your own offer and you create a new marketing angle. Now, if you look at Nick Setting at consulting, right? But he only focuses on IG and nothing else. Why is that? Why doesn't he do that? He uses Miro Board, which is used mostly by business owners and people that make presentations, not really, B2C guys. Not everybody's copying it. But the thing is that you guys need to understand he used something which everybody kind of uses. This is like, let me kind of like break this down. Let me go on a little bit of side rant. So what he did, he took Miro Board, which is used by people like, you and me and the people who make presentations. I would say this is a complete B2B thing. I don't think no B2C people do it. Most people don't do it, right? No normal normies don't do it. He took that and he owned this. Now, why did he do that? Because every time you see a Miro board, his face appears on your face. When you think of Andrew Tate, you think of cigars, you think of Bugatti, you think all these things. When you think of Iman Ghatzi, you think about class, you think about, SMMA. When you think about Axel Rose, you think about nose tapes. All these people, what they do is that they create an offer angle with existing models. Now, this is, of course, this is a brand perception. Now, we're talking about bigger levels. But for you who just wants to create an offer, you take something which already exists, but you need to add your twist. You cannot create something from something like complete scratch. Don't do that. If you're going to do that, it's going to be super hard. And if you want to do that, you need a lot of audiences. That you need like a bunch of people, and that is hard to do. People think low ticket is easy. It's not easy. I would much rather sell to 5 people willing to pay me 20K than the other way around. I don't want to sell like a $5 program to 20,000 people. That's a hassle. Like, that is hard. This is easy. Like, the opposite is easy. So you guys need to understand this entire concept that I'm talking about. And the way that you do it, right? Where does this lead to? Yes, it leads to over here. Drew and Petrus, next setting, you see these guys, they watch my stories and stuff. But why is that? And also it's building connections, messaging them, it's talking. It's using something which they already know. Some of the results, I've gone for like just the funnels that I make, right? Showing these type of results in my stories, like, hey, I've done this, I've done that. These are my funnels. This is how I'm getting qualified calls, like these booked in, which leads to these results, right? So when I'm creating my stories and when I create my content, I'm deliberate with the delivery and what I do. On YouTube, sometimes I make, like most of my times is dialed content. Sometimes I show a little bit of my personality. What did I do? Blah, 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 blah. But the entire purpose is that I show them, hey, what you're doing, I also do, but I'm using the different approach. I use the existing models of calls getting booked, but I put a twist on it saying that this is all automated. So let's say you want to sell an offer. I'm going to make you an offer right here, right now, and with the marketing angle. Let me just get an example. One example it could be. Let's do a B2C example. It's much more easier for me to explain. Let me do such an abstract example. And this is how you can know like that what I'm talking about really works. Let's say, let me just do it here. Boom. So let's say you sell makeup. You sell makeup guides to women, right? Let's say you teach women how to do makeup, right? You teach women how to do makeup. Like this could be your brand, TMG, Teach Makeup Girls. could be anything. Now, how would I sell it? Now, every woman applies makeup. Every single chick that you ever see on the market, they or not on the market like in real life, but everybody you see online, they all use makeup. Now, how would I go about it and selling it off it? Okay, so I want to sell makeup. So what I do, and to make it kind of tangible, is that I already use brands which are in the mid. They're mid, right? They're not that massive. I don't want to use L'Oreal or something. No hate. I don't know L'Oreal. Like I don't know the brands, but I'll choose a mid brand now. Keep in mind, this is going to be important. I choose this mid brand right here, and I start teaching them how to do makeup fast or how to do makeup in a while working or while driving. I use something, right? Everybody knows how to apply makeup, but this is my twist. I teach women how to do makeup on the go. Boom. This is an offer angle. See? On the go. On the go. Now, this has two things on the go. Boom. Now, this you will be like, what is he talking about? And listen, if I particularly teach women how to do makeup on the go, and I'm using these mid brands, and I'm not using these massive brands, and if my content blows up, these like smaller brands will reach out to me saying, "Hey, could you sell our offer to us?" One of these brands will approach you, these mid brands, and they'll be like, "Hey, why don't you use our products?" Right? This will lead you, and this is where the genius comes in. That's why I use mid brands. One of these mid brands, right? One of these smaller brands, not actual like mid, maybe they use your angle, makeup on the go, and you could be the like face of it. You see how I created an entire angle in just like 2 minutes. This is how you guys need to think. You guys need to develop this sponge of the sponge that you have between your two ears. You need to sharpen it in this exact way. I just literally created could be even a multi-million, could be a 9-figure brand right here, makeup on the go. And there's probably a brand that sells that. And so what you guys need to understand right here, right now is that whenever you have this formula, let me just go back to this entire formula of having an existing model plus your new offer or your new service can create a new marketing angle. This example right here of you using mid brands on Instagram, making videos of how you can do makeup on the go for as a woman, and of course it's like kind of like a used idea, but you can kind of see the genius of it. You use makeup on the go. Okay, I want to do the makeup in my car. I want to do makeup when I'm at work. I want to do makeup in the washroom, whatever it is, without having a bunch of stuff, whatever women have. You use this entire model. And exactly right now, you create it. And these mid brands, if they reach out to you, you are now a brand ambassador for a 9-figure brand. Boom. This is how you guys need to think. This is how I come up with marketing angles for my clients, even. So, what I do with my clients is that, okay, you have already an existing model, you already have an existing audience, which follows you. Your audience needs to be loyal to you. If they're not loyal, it's going to have an issue. But let's say this, right? I've created a trifecta right here with this Slop advertising, which is the reason why I call it Slop, because it's easy to do. It's not that hard. So I just take something which is already done, let's say again makeup, and I just put a spin on it. Now let me use a more business example. Let's say I'm selling, what do people sell nowadays? I have too many examples in my head. Let's say you sell fitness, right? Fitness is like the most overused. Now, fitness, and this, let me just create a new angle for fitness. So, how do I am gonna target fitness? Okay, I'm gonna use some sort of application to track everything, or create my mini little app, which is really possible. So I already, let's say I have 5 grand in the bank. Let me just do this. Let's say I have $5,000 in the bank, right? Let me just come in here. Boom. So I have 5 grand. Why is it so bad? I need to get better at these handwritings, guys. So let's say I have 5 grand in the bank, right? I make an entire SaaS. Let's say let's say CaliFit, right? Let me just use that guy's app. But here's the thing, right? The guy who made CaliFit and those apps, if he was a gym influencer, his entire model would have changed. So what I would have done is that I would have sold a high ticket offer with this thing. Now, of course, everybody's angles are different, but what you can do, as what a lot of agencies are now doing, and you can just completely steal this, which is you have your high ticket offer. I'm going to use a dollar sign for this, and then you connect a monthly subscription of some sort of SaaS. So let's say leads, right? Let's say you help people get better conversions, right? You do that, but you also have something which scrapes leads for them on a monthly basis. So that's a new angle which you have created, and you also get monthly subscriptions. You're getting the advantages of SaaS, but with your high ticket and creating that money flow and cash flow for yourself. But guys, you need to use this formula. You need to understand this entire system of Slop AI advertising. This was the probably most impressive video that I have ever made. In my eyes, I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you want to book a call, if you want to create these angles for yourself, if you want to automate your business, if you want to actually have time to think and come up with really specific ideas, book a call with me. It's in the comment sections, and I'll see you guys in the next one. It was an absolute, guys, watch this 1 or 2 times. I'm being like serious. The example that I gave with the makeup one was on top of my head. Like, I don't know anything about makeup. I don't use it, but I just came up with that. And this is how you guys need to thank yourself as well. And I'll see you in the next one.